So hello friends, this is 19 to the dozen. Today episode number 6 with David. He is from Iceland and he is the baker behind one of the most wonderful bakehouses in Prague. Actually 2 of them, one on Újezd and one in Myslikova. Artic Bakehouse, in case I didn't say it. So thank you, David, for accepting the invitation.
Thank you for having me,
We
mate.
just had like half an hour tour of your flat and we just shared stories. And I just want to tell you that this is going to be a great episode. Therefore, since you're here, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and follow Artic Bakehouse on Instagram as well. The handle is Artic Bakehouse. Yeah. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation. And
I'm so happy.
Skål, my friends.
Skål. Skål, my friend. Not an Icelandic beer, but
Still
one of the best in the world.
I agree. So tell me, I first encountered your story in Prague Morning. They do this series of little texts about expats. And this is where I basically saw you for the first time and connected your face and who you are with Artic Bakehouse, which I knew. I live in Naroni Divadlo, so it's really close. Sometimes I do take the croissants from you guys, and they are awesome indeed. So my first question would be, you said there that I think you're baking from 13?
Yeah, I've been basically, this is basically the only profession I've worked, as a human being. I started like 13, actually. I started a little sooner, but it doesn't count. And it's like, my father is a baker, and every night he was going up. And I woke up when he was going to work and etc. And for me, it was so fascinating to see a man like going out in the night. Nobody would want to go. It was kind of like this challenge.
Right.
It's like, to be honest, it was not about baking. It was about the challenge of being a man. So I wanted to do it. So I was always begging him like, can I come with you? And I was like 7 or something.
Okay.
And once he did, he's like, oh, then come. You wake up, and I did.
What time does a baker wake up?
It depends on the bakery, We are, it's like, for example, in Artic Bakehouse, it's not that late because we bake by the hour. There are so many bakeries that just bake everything, and the bakers go home. But we're trying to get closer to the restaurant feeling. We are trying to have it fresh from the oven to the customer. And so this was the start of for me to be curious about this baking stuff, and of course, and I'm still trying to be as my father. He's my role model in life, and I think I'm 41, so it still is. So it's always going to be like that.
Cool, awesome. Tell me, like, what would be your first bread memory? For me, there was a bakehouse kind of close to the place where I was born in Timișoara, and that like smell of warm bread or of the while baking, that is such a unique smell for me, I think.
It is. It's a cozy feeling to have that in your face. Like you can actually, it's like it's covering you. But I have a different approach, because my first memories are like from the beginning. So because I was born into this, so I have the inside story and you are the outside story. So it's kind of different. It's like, believe me, it's more charming from the outside than it is from the inside. It's quite a hard work. It is extremely hard, to be honest. There are it's so memorable. Like I have so many people coming, attending for a job, and they want some easy job because they are having back pain or blah blah blah. It's like, so I you totally misunderstand. This is not the job for you. It's really hard, like really physically and so. But I always respect the people who manage to do this and do it well. I totally respect, because I know how hard it is.
Do you remember the first bread you made?
To be honest, no.
You don't.
It was
such a part of your everyday life that.
Yeah, it's like I knew it was just from some leftovers when my father was working. I scrapped them and I made mixed bread with many doughs, and I was so proud of it. I thought it was, making some new discovery, which it was not. And I think it's creativity in this business is like endless. You can you can be so creative with ingredients and how you perform your act with the dough and stuff like that. And as a customer, you basically don't see that like as black and white as I do. But I'm always learning. I still feel like I'm starting this. To be honest, that's basically the reason I'm so passionate about it. It keeps me young.
Amazing. I mean, seriously, just by listening to you, I really understand your passion, and I kind of understand why the stuff you do is so good.
Yeah, I'm really, I'm so humble about the reaction from this market here in Czech Republic. I knew they were gonna love it, in a way, but so much, so fast, I didn't expect that, and how Czech Republic just welcomed me with like so open arms, and I just want to give it back. I'm trying to, keep up and make. I'm trying to be a better baker every day. I'm reading books every day, like constantly, and and I have a motive to be better. And that's really important for like everyone, It doesn't matter if you're doing a podcast or baking bread. Like, at the end of the day, we are just doing the same thing. We're just making good service that makes the life of people more enjoyable, and also we have to think about like what my purpose and the purpose of Artic Bakehouse. We're trying to change the habits of eating bread, because me and my partner, Gudbjartur Gudbjartsson, his name is, we are here to change these habits, because we know Czech people eat a lot of bread. But the bread that we're eating before us, I believe they will change their minds one day. It's so shitty flour that they've been putting in their bodies. That this fast process of making bread, it is terrible, man. This gluten intolerance and gluten sensitivity, where do you think that is coming from? It's coming from shitty flour, shitty ingredients. The speed of the market, just produce, low prices to get to the bulk of the people. So we are doing it totally the opposite. We're slowing everything down. The ingredients we are buying and like looking for all around the world. If we don't find it in Czech, we go abroad and find it somewhere, and we bring it into the country. We make the healthiest product available, and that's a purpose for a company. Purpose for a company should not be profit just. It has to be why are you here? And this is the answer. We're trying to make people more healthy. So the healthcare should be like thanking me a little bit.
They for sure do.
And they will. I'm just getting started.
So you moved to Prague without the intention. No, you moved to Prague. You visited Prague without the intention of actually moving here and opening a bakehouse, but kind of the way I read it in Prague Morning, like after the first night you spent here, this was the thing you needed. You knew you needed to do.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, because me and my partner Gudbjartur, we are kind of the same personality. We have got the same personality. We are driven by just making the decisions quickly. We don't analyze a lot. We believe in what we know.
Is this a Icelandic thing?
I think so.
Okay.
I really think so.
Okay.
So we had some discussions about our next step in our business together, because we already had something going on in Iceland.
Okay.
And so he was already living here.
Okay.
We had some discussions, and this discussion led to the thing that why shouldn't we just check out the Czech market? And 1 week later, I was here, something like that, and 4 weeks later after that, my maniac partner, Gudbjartur, he already took a place, and like we're going to do it here. So then I just moved like quickly from Iceland, and I was actually having a good run there. So
which was the first one, the Újezd or the Myslíkova one?
Újezd is the starting point from Artic Bakehouse, and so it's actually quite big, in the back, but today it's too small.
Okay.
So we are producing is getting quite difficult sometimes, and you know, then we should, of course, we are trying to fix that, and because we are trying to fill up the need of the market, and it's really interesting, man. It's so fascinating to be in this position to actually have like standing in front of a problem that is your passion. It's like you cannot believe it. It's like I was giving up the hope that would happen, man. It's like it's so fascinating to be in this position. Like I was telling you on the terrace here, sometimes I feel like in a movie, and so that's why I'm so grateful for being here, and that's why I will not let people down. And so Artic is, the friend of Czech Republic people. We are running a local bakery. 100% Czech product is Artic Bakehouse. So I'm proud of being like a little bit Czech. I'm trying to blend in as much as possible, mate.
Any kids here so far?
Not in Czech Republic, but I have few in Iceland. We have I'm not the only Icelandic guy with the same story. But I have 4 children.
Okay.
And like my partner, some people say, like, do you have 4 children with 5 women or 6? But there are actually just 3.
Okay.
And I was in love each time. The tendency was good, but life is life, and I know what went wrong. It's like I'm passionate, driven baker. I want to travel the world, and so to be honest, I fucked it up a little bit, and it's okay. We do the best. We are, like I always say, like it's like yesterday was like it's just the past, and and tomorrow is like a mystery, and we just have to be positive and not make this a burden, because it isn't.
It isn't. I know. I've probably took the wrong decision in my life, and at one point, I thought about having kids as a burden. But now I realize, at your age, that basically I fucked up. I've done goof.
Yeah, totally. I can be totally honest about it. I thought when you have a challenge, you're going to do your best, but you cannot change the way you are. So it's kind of a sad thing when it happened on that moment. So, and I needed to achieve this, what I'm having now, before I could do something else. And so this is, I'm not going to change the past. So
any of them baking now?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
If they see enough success, they will maybe have interest.
Okay.
That's the younger generations,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm hoping that one of them will keep up the legacy that I'm building, but I would really enjoy that.
You said that you managed to travel the world, and not only travel, but in an active way, to basically look at how people were baking and ingredients and so on. And this actually, you just said, I don't think it was on camera or not, maybe it was when we were walking around, you said that you're constantly learning and you're constantly trying to develop yourself and your skills.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this. Like, I don't know, tell me how you traveled, where.
It's like, there was a period of time of my life that I was just like, when, for example, like when I come from Iceland, my friends, like on the similar age that I am, they go and see a football match in England. When I go to France and look some chocolates, and so I was kind of but it totally is not my character. If you would, my friends do like, would. But I couldn't help it, man. It's like, and I was always going to Belgium, France, and I actually went really deep in the pastry too, and chocolates, and this. I'm totally into this stuff, and so my traveling was like focused on countries with a good culture and understanding about fermentation with breads and etc. So, and I was really young then, so because I didn't know anything about this, like. In this way, because I know how to do it, but I didn't understand it. So I wanted to go to the roots of where it comes from, the roots that I believed was the roots. Nobody can prove it, but the way we do bread now is basically the bread was made from the beginning. I'm bringing the oldest time of making bread back to life.
Which is, tell us a little bit more. It's yeast, right? It's the droždie.
Yeah.
How would you say droždie in?
Yeah, it's
Yeast,
like, commercial yeast
So
is...
basically you need to let the dough rise for a while before you bake it, no?
It's like, we call it like in French, we call it like levain.
Okay.
It is basically, you can make it yourself at home with just water and flour.
Okay.
And you just
But will it grow with just water and flour?
you just have to you have to feed it like a baby, you know.
Okay.
You have to take care of it and it takes a few weeks to make it like really active.
Okay.
And then it's basically taking the bacteria from the atmosphere.
Okay.
And then you got it ready. It's active enough to make bread. Then you have to remain the same activity in it always.
How do you do that?
It's a process with which maybe you just feed it because if it gets too old, you get slobby and you get like not active enough to make this results that I'm trying to get. So many people know what I'm talking about because this is really popular now, and especially during the COVID, people have nothing to do. But remain this quality is a tricky thing, and it's because you actually never know for sure if it's, but with years and years of practice, and it's always in your fingertips when you are making the dough, it's the feeling that a perfect professional baker has, and you don't get that like just reading books. And so this is the starter of our Artic Bakehouse. Like this dough was made many years ago of me and my brother in Iceland. I brought it here, the bacteria here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there is actually a story. He has a name and everything. His name is Aron. That's the name of our past brother.
Okay.
And we gave it. It's so funny because when he reaches the highest level of activity, it was ready. It was on his birthday, and he was already passed. My brother, and so it was. We gave it, and it's quite common that bakers give them starters name. It's getting more personal. It's like it is what it is. So this name is Aron is still alive in a way. He's running Artic Bakehouse. So,
Awesome.
I was a cool guy, man. You should have podcast him, man. It is nice to bring this into your business because business can be devastating, but you have to try to make it fun. And I really just want to have the life as fun as possible, and I try to bring it to the staff as much as possible, and etc. So, yeah, that's cool.
You were talking also about gluten, right? Do you now have gluten-free options, or
No.
you just basically choose the really good flour, and that flour will basically do the quality of bread plus the
gluten? There are many types of gluten, and you have really bad gluten and good gluten, and but with the breads.
The reason I'm asking, sorry to interrupt, the reason I'm asking is that for me at least, I'm a foodie. I used to be 130 kilos. Now I'm 95. So, bread was a huge part of my life. But for example, the gluten thing, I am aware of it from, like beer conversations and so on, maybe in the last 10 years max.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 90s when I was a kid, nobody was talking about gluten, right? So educate me a little bit. Tell me, I don't know. Because now it's like something very kind of posh, maybe. Everybody's, asking, do you have a gluten-free option? Do you have blah, blah?
Yeah.
People are paying like maybe 100 crowns, which is 4 euros, the equivalent of 4 euros for maybe a few loaves of gluten-free bread from Tesco or some, like this huge retailer, which is kind of stupid in a way, right? So what's your take on it?
Gluten is just like a combination of two types of protein. It's like in Iceland, when I learned it, it's like albumin and globumin.
Okay.
So, well, it's like from the earth we have the corn, and where it's coming from, and how it's handled, and etc. And this is the choice you have to make with a baker. You're like, where are you going to have from, where, why? And and this is a really difficult question, and you cannot answer it with just like reading or talking, or you just have to try. And then the fermentation that happens in sourdough breads. It's like every loaf you buy in Artic Bakehouse is made and fermented for like 12 to 16 hours.
Okay.
So there's no rush in Artic Bakehouse. And then during the fermentation, the gluten breaks down.
Okay.
So there's really low volume of gluten left when we bake it.
So if you do the bread as you're supposed to do, as you say it, with passion, and you don't rush it for commercial blah blah blah, you just do the quality, then gluten is no longer a problem, right?
I've ate bread all my life, every day, a lot of it, because I grew up in a family with this mentality of eating healthy breads.
Yeah.
So and it's a really big part of like all the fresh vegetables and etc. And I still do it, but I couldn't do it when I came here. Now I can do it after I opened Artic Bakehouse. Okay, it was not a promotion, but actually is. And there are actually few bakeries doing the same thing now, and I'm so happy that we are I want to help everybody to do this. All over Czech Republic, all of it. Just bring the healthy bread back in and leave that shit behind, right? It's like I'm real passionate about this. I'm angry.
I totally feel it. It's normal. Why not? I mean, yeah. And it's such a wonderful thing because, look, I'm Romanian. I don't know. It's so nice for me as a Romanian to come here, which is not super far away from home. It's just 700 kilometers from home. It's a 7-hour drive. And see that actually people in the same industry, like I'm thinking about our first episode with Petra, tattoo girl, she would say, if I look at the design and I see I cannot do it, I know who can do it in Prague, and I'll send my customer to that guy just because I respect him so much to get what he wants. Yeah. You're telling me the same thing about bread. Yeah. You're like, I came here, I'm successful, I'm passionate about this. I want everybody to copy my model because this is how bread is made. And my point was that I'm Romanian. If it's about back home, and you have this kind of position, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm going to get hate, I don't know. But what we usually do is like try to kill the other guy's business, Or here, not so far away from home, you're not the first, not the second, guy who actually sees it, even if it's the same business, it's still a community, and each member of the community can go up by this, and it's amazing for me. I almost don't understand it.
It's like, I don't know, it's just like so natural to the way of expanding your life. It's just like to make friends and make good memories, and because at the end of the day we're just going to die. So
unfortunately,
yeah. So what are you trying to say? And I from my opinion, I have these moments when I'm selfish and my selfish content and stuff like that. But when I feel that, I'm insecure.
Okay.
So being insecure, you will not make any success. You will not do better breads. You will be really isolated motherfucker. So we just need to be open-minded and be free in what we're doing. So. I think that's the basic of being in any profession. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like I believe in that, and if you're driven by money, you will be insecure. So it's like there's a poison to focus at. Just focus on what brought me here. I will never lose focus on that. Is what I want to say, and I hope that's going to happen to me,
I honestly think that it's already happening to you, but then again, you probably
but you
want a bakehouse in Plzeň, in Olomouc, in Ostrava as well, no?
If it makes sense, the next step, as a fun puzzle to my adventure here, yes. If it's not fun, I will not do it.
Okay.
So it's not about profit; it's about fun. And I think there is like kind of they should attach together. When it's fun, you will have profit. I think, at least I believe in that.
And you're not the only one that believes in that. Even, for example, Simon Sinek, if money is a consequence of the quality of the things you do, it's not. It shouldn't be the driver to start a business.
Yeah.
It should be the consequence of having a good business.
That's
right?
what in the beginning of our conversation, I said like the purpose of my company. This is why I told you in the beginning. It's not money. It's making healthier breads.
It's making healthier
So
bread.
the goal is there, not there. So
Money is a natural consequence, I guess.
Yeah,
of having good bread. Yeah.
money is just power, So it's the fuel. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's like a movie. I am really humble and I'm so happy to be here. And it's unbelievable for a guy from Iceland to take this risk because I didn't know the language, I didn't know the system, I didn't know anything. Just follow this like gut feeling. Like, do it, let's fucking do it, man.
You didn't know the language, you didn't know business or how you said it, but you knew how to make bread.
Yeah.
And
that's quite an international language.
Yeah, that's quite an international language, right?
Yeah,
I mean, except maybe Southeast Asia where the table food is rice. I don't think you will,
No, I stick to the things I know. To be honest, that's the only thing I know. I can play guitar. That's guitar and bread.
Right, we're gonna get there because I noticed it first thing when I came into your flat. By the way, we didn't mention this, right? Because every time we were filming on location, now we're filming in Dave's apartment. Right, yeah. So he was so kind to invite us, and he's got a balcony where we're gonna shoot the part 2 of this when we hit 50. Yeah. So what I usually do is tell me, because right, I'm Romanian. Tell me, how was it to grow up in Iceland? I mean, look, for me, for example, one of the things I know, at least from the Viking series, is that Floki. There was a guy called Floki, who I think was the first settler, right, or something like that, and it was around year 800, I think.
Yeah,
because the island in itself is almost uninhabitable, right? I mean, can you grow corn and not really, no?
No, we could not. It's like to grow some stuff is we cannot do it, but in greenhouses we can do some vegetables and stuff. And Iceland is really isolated, and our language, Icelandic, is has almost changed. It's nothing changed about it, like Icelandic because of the isolation. It hasn't been like in other countries you have so many people coming around and in and out and stuff, and there is a lot of stuff remains the same in Iceland because of that, and which is really good, because when times go by, and I'm really proud Icelandic guy, because we have. I'm not saying I am, but I know Icelandic people. There are some dynamite in them, and I think it's because we have to prove ourselves. We have to fight for the meal, like not so many years ago, and so there are a lot of these things that create you, and that's why that's why they are what they are. The nature creates you, it shapes you, and in Iceland it's like it was really tough just to get the food on the table, like not so many years ago, to be honest. And I can see it like in every profession, like they're in sports and music and everything, they are playing in the top field in the world, and we are just 350,000.
Exactly, it's like it's a very small nation. 350,000 is almost as big as Luxembourg. Luxembourg might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the country itself is like bigger than England.
Yes, but I'm the population.
So we have a lot of space. But the volcanoes are taking a lot of...
Yeah, actually, one of the things I remember, being impressed and wanting to visit Iceland. Iceland is somehow on my bucket list. I want to visit it. I remember there is this guy on CNN, Quest. And his Quest means business is, I think, a kind of a show, 1 hour where he travels to different locations. And for example, I was mind blown. You can actually take a jacuzzi bath in a geyser, this kind of things. It's such a place of such natural beauty, but different from anything else
Yeah.
that I have at least seen
Yeah.
in pictures.
I agree.
It's very special.
I totally agree, and you know.
It's probably very cold as well. Like
No, it's like actually not. It's like,
Really?
No, it's like the story that I heard and believe in. It's like, you know, when they found Iceland, they called it Iceland because they didn't want anybody to follow them there. They want to keep it on their own.
Okay.
And they called Greenland, and Greenland is fucking nice. So they went to Greenland and died, and they were just like this.
This is a Viking joke, huh?
Yeah.
Let's call this ice place Greenland,
Yeah.
so people will go there. But haha,
So we're
surprise,
not
huh?
going to Iceland, we go to Greenland, mate. And they're like, they sail there and fucking, what the fuck is this, you know? And they're like in the green grass, like, woo-hoo. So, and you know, it sticks, you know, not good for marketing and, you know, later on, but now, you know, it's kind of a known thing that, you know, the temperature, of course, it's not like tropical, but it is, it's like, for example, I never felt like so much cold as I came here.
In Prague, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I think my nose was going off, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm from Iceland, I should like be stronger, but I couldn't. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes Prague gets really chilly somehow. It gets in your bone in a way in which it
as the
feels not
humidity,
natural.
and you know, you're close to closer to Siberia or something. I don't know, but Iceland is quite like flat in degrees. We have, of course, snow and stuff like that, but you know, it's quite comfy for me. You know, you can see I'm a fucking red face now. My skin is still being used to having
10th
sun.
of May, the first 25 degrees day in Prague.
I have to be really careful. The first-
Already read, yeah.
Yeah, I should like read something and it's 25. Put some sunblock, but I'm always first day. Boom, yesterday. It's like,
But you can take the heat, right? Because I guess you're spending most of the day next to the oven, no? So heat is...
So I adopt really quickly. You know, after 2-3 days in sun, I'm good. But just the first days, you know, it's still in my DNA to be in a different environment. So.
Besides bread, what would be like? What is the Icelandic cuisine? What do you guys normally eat? I don't know, for Christmas, or what's something that you miss from home?
Yeah, it's like Icelandic lamb, like
Lamb?
Yeah, the meat from like the sheep, like a lamb was more. It's awesome, and but fish first and foremost. Fresh fish from Iceland is like the thing that you, if you haven't tried it, and when you try it, you will not believe it is fish. Because I can back this up because I've been here for a while and I have been back in Iceland missing these things.
Okay.
So also with the nature, I was kind of struck when I came back, and the fish is like, you know, number one thing. I because it's so easy to get high quality fish there, and I gave up on that cuisine here, eating fish, but because my standards are too high for that. But it is what it is. You know, we are not surrounded by sea as Iceland is. You know, that's one of the benefits of being in the cold in Iceland. And the reason is, of course, it's colder sea, so the fish is better. So Iceland is always been the one industry is fishing, always. But recently, like 10 years. The tourism became equally as big, which is good. And we have eggs in the two nests, not one. So economically, Iceland is really strong.
No,
Yeah,
it's very nice to me from another aspect. I think it's the only European country who defaulted on debt, and it proved to be a good decision for the country, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't know the subject, so I'm not really sure how the big guys allowed Iceland to do that. But it would have been a solution for Greece not too long ago. It would have been a solution for other countries. And to me, Iceland was this, probably because it was small. No offense.
No,
it was just like, okay, let's do this for Iceland. And it was an amazing thing because the country from one day to another, how I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, how I understand it is that like the country after defaulting and after the state bought the private banks, it just like boomed back.
Yeah.
And that's such a nice thing, a dream. in a way.
We were
today.
so close of paying this stuff and put this on the tax citizens.
But they didn't, right?
No,
they didn't.
They, you know, the people has a voice, and the decision that was then made, like we are not going to pay the debt of criminals. So leave it at that. No, and we went to the highest court on the planet, and we won, and that's it. We're talking about high taxes for many years on my.
It would have destroyed
on my children.
Two generations. Yeah. But I see this happening in other countries, as well as in Romania, for example, and it's unfair for young guys, or like the craziness with the American school debt. I mean, you cannot be in debt for a whole life just for going to university in the US. You cannot. I mean, it's crazy, right?
No, it's like
so you got this opportunity, which is an amazing opportunity, and then after this, I think you have a woman prime minister leading the country and so on. So like, there's such cool things.
We are having this equal rights, and it's really a hot topic everywhere, and which is I always look at everybody equal, and I've done it from the day I was born. So this of course this conversation and this topic is really needed, but keep it where it should be needed, and don't take this as a religion. Just be friends, and so because we go overboard as human beings in everything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, we always go overboard, and we have to make it porn. So I don't know why, because in our character, everybody is like greed. We have to have greed. We can be greedy, but we have to control it.
Okay.
So we always need more information, more this and more and that. So I'm that too, but 41, I finally learned to control that.
I still struggle.
Yeah, me too.
But it's you were believable.
I'm sending the message from me to you and some listeners. But back to where it comes from, Iceland, is like it's always been like we are really open-minded in general, like for the gay community and etc.
But even way back, I think from the Vikings show. I mean, there was not necessarily like marriage. It was more of a community, right? I mean, you could...
Yeah, it was a marriage, but,
or not as strict or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were focusing on the man, having sex with some other woman, but believe me, it was definitely the same thing going on with the women. But in the series, we don't have the camera there. So, but I know that for sure, and that's still the fact. Everybody's doing the same shit, and everybody's doing the same goods. So, it's always been like that. It's always going to be like that. And, but we're always controlled by the media, the headlines and stuff. So, and that's why I don't like media. Some media are and it's changing. For example, this.
Yeah, absolutely.
The voices of the humans are having access to the ears of the listeners. And so, the color, it's getting more colorful. It's getting more, you can just pick up your own thing to listen to and
absolutely.
read. And this is the modern times, and this is, of course, I'm so happy that you're doing this, because we need more of this, and just like more shoutout. That's definitely it. Totally.
Yeah. Guitar, David.
Yeah.
It's like, is this the only thing you do except bread? I mean, is this like your second passion?
Yeah, it's to be honest, I wanted to be a musician.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a conflict in my life, later on. I didn't start to do guitar until I was 25 or something, because I was so fascinated about my father. He plays guitar too.
Okay.
Baking, guitar, everything like my father.
Okay.
And he's a painter too, and making pictures. And I tried that, but I gave up.
Okay.
And so I made some, I'm addicted to stuff that I like, and I practice 6 hours a day, just every day, and just to...
Still have time? 6
No,
hours?
I did before.
You did, sorry.
When I was in school, just to, because I promised that I would come back to the island where I lived and play because we play a lot together, and and I couldn't know how to play, and I wanted to be involved, So, and I said, I will take this because, I think I was living in an island in the south, and I was living in Reykjavik when I was doing my education. So I said to my father, I will take this guitar, I will practice next year in this gathering, I will play. So he said, yeah, okay. And I did, I've practiced 6 hours a day, every day. So that was the starting point of some music. And it started to grow, and I was writing music and stuff like that. And then I started to play like on open, on bars and stuff.
Okay.
And then I started to be having income, and so I said, like, I can do this, But baking, it was a conflict.
Okay.
But 23, I had my first baby, and I said, okay, I want to go, Then I started my business, my first one in Iceland.
Okay.
So I have bakery also in Iceland. So I was like, it's way too much jump to just quit that too, and bringing my first son into this world and just like, oh, daddy want to play guitar, So it's kind of so I just made, a deal with myself. This is just going to be my hobby, and it will bring me always the same passion, enjoyment. So, because it gets damaged when it's a profession, that's for sure. So I can always grab this. And
have you ever played in Prague?
Yeah.
You have, right?
I played in Napavar.
Okay.
I had a session there, it was cool, man. And they had this open mic stuff, because I was socializing, and I like live music. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. I just like, the atmosphere of it. And I just like forced myself into one song, and one thing led to another. And so they liked it, and they asked me to play like for one evening. So I have that on my resume, and I played on public.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah. If look, I listen to rock, metal in general. Tell me one good Icelandic band I should listen to. I probably don't know any music from Iceland.
Kaleo.
Kaleo.
Huh?
Okay.
You haven't heard it?
No.
You're in for a treat, babe.
Really?
Oh yeah.
K or K?
K.
K. Kaleo.
Kaleo. Just like as it says. They are actually making a really good. And I recommend the listeners to put it on. It is awesome. They are getting like worldwide famous now.
Okay.
And they started in America, and now they're coming really more into Europe. Actually, I went to a concert here in Prague.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was sold out, and so they are awesome, man. It's
Cool.
like, yeah.
I can hardly wait to go home and listen
They're
to
not like
them.
heavy metal. They are rock, like really original rock band. So. I will make you listen to one song before you go. That's for sure, definitely.
Will you be able to play it or no?
No, yeah, but
However.
I can play it, but I will just see what my fingers are telling me.
Stan, anything?
I wanted to ask. I read a fun fact about Iceland, and that is that many people actually believes in elves and trolls. Can you give us some backstory about that? Or
this is actually, back in the days, people actually did it. And I have a theory that they did it because, like back in the days, you had nothing to do, and the houses were built, and you hear some cracking and stuff like that, so inside of yourself, you just start to make some fairy tales, and I don't believe it at all, but I always respect what you believe. So we cannot prove it's not, but they live in some stones, and some stones are protected still in Iceland because there are elves in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just because we are respectful for others' opinion, and in a way that's beautiful.
It is.
So why take away something that gives you something, hope or whatever? Because we don't know the side effects of taking something away from you. So that's why if you are a religious person, I'm always accepting what you believe in, and I will never criticize that. And because belief is beautiful. It's kind of a extra drive as a human beings, because we have to believe in something bigger than ourselves, because we are fucking nothing. We're just some ants crawling on the planet. So I think that's kind of the part of believing something. So I hope that satisfies your.
Absolutely, so beautifully said, man. Yeah. I'm now thinking about it, like really thinking about
I think it's good to believe. I believe in stuff.
I mean, in a way, Christianity is the same, right? You cannot prove any of that stuff actually happened, and many people can argue that they can disprove actually that this stuff happened. So
Yeah.
It's still a matter of belief. Yeah.
And why go on a journey like have this like I'm gonna prove you wrong, and there are people that actually want to do it. Why are you wasting your energy on this? Why don't you just be happy for him and there's some, because faith and religion are in the root really beautiful, but people always make it like we talk about. They make everything porn. It starts to be fucking brutal. As long as we keep to the the script, it is making sense. It doesn't matter if you're like Muslim, Christian. I don't give a fuck what you are. Just let people be, man, and just live in peace.
Yeah, which is such a generous idea in the end, because and this Prague is about this as well, right? Do you feel this kind of, I don't know how to put it, like it's freedom, nobody really cares about you, like you're not watched, you're not in any way, but it's not necessarily like, I don't know how to say it, it's not necessarily like nobody cares, like you can be anything in Prague. Yeah, it's so totally. I mean, you will not get people judging you in Prague for anything, which is an amazing thing. It's an opportunity. You can be anything, you can try anything, you can
I totally agree with that, and I'm actually realizing that now when you're talking about it, it's one of the reasons I love being here, because I think I'm kind of a out of the norm kind of guy, and I've never been criticized for it. So
why you think you're out of the norm? Just because you don't speak Czech?
Yeah, that's actually yes. But
no,
I have it's like. No, I'm kind of a ghost, because of the beginning. But I'm getting more visible now. I have more time for myself to spend, which is really good. So I'm, in a way, I get to know Prague a little bit different now, because I was so occupied in the beginning. I wanted to learn the language, but now I'm actually starting to understand a little bit words and etc. So this is the first time I have a chance to actually get involved, which was kind of a frustrating thing in the beginning. So that made it even harder to be here. But it was never hard. It's like I had never had nothing else but love in this country. Like everybody, hey, no problem.
Absolutely, I agree.
One service woman, she tried to punch me in the face. Seriously, it did. Me and my colleague, we brought her flowers the day after, and because he hated that we are so nice, and couldn't speak English. She couldn't speak English. There was a language problem, and it was kind of a funny thing. And we were like, shit, she's trying to fucking punch me, man. And then he said, hey, let's give her a flower tomorrow. She hated it. like destroy her with love.
Destroy her with love. Yeah.
And she actually smiled after that. So. We are friends.
You got a smile out of a Czech girl?
Yeah, yeah.
These people don't smile.
Yeah, they do.
I know a guy that has the lone Mexican on YouTube. He's a Mexican living in Prague, and he's got this joke that he moved to Prague for customer service and stayed for the smiles.
Right.
Something like that. If I didn't do it, well, excuse me, Jose.
There is Czech people are the only difference between them and the others, they have really thick, high wall in front of them.
But as you break that wall...
Yeah, they are totally, and actually they surprise you a lot. They can be actually extremely fucking wild, man. And so knowing that, and overcome one victim, and then your faith goes up in the rest of them. So that's basically what happened to me, and I'm okay with them if they don't smile and they ignore me. I don't give a fuck.
Did you, from the moment when you opened the bakehouses in Prague, did people come to you and want to learn your style? Want to do you apprentice? Do you spread it somewhere?
Yeah, it's we have hundreds of requests of these kind of things, and until recently we can actually think about it. Just think about it, because when we started, the one thing that backfired a little bit, it was I thought the quality of the bakers here were like good, better, but it's totally not, and so I was. Artic Bakehouse was relying on me every day, like way too much that you should put on one human being. So when these requests came, there was just like extra job. So extra job for me was basically killing my business. So it didn't make sense. But I'm getting to the point that I have time to like talk and share, and we have also talked about it, me and my partner, to have demonstrations and bring people in and having fun and just like people, people with the same interest, they can always have fun.
You can even do it like a corporate team building activity, because there's like these people, when I worked in HP, they were as a benefit, they sent like, I don't know, 10 of us to a cooking class. And it was a nice thing to do with your work colleagues. Totally. You actually do learn how to cook a dish. So this could work very well with bread, man. Yeah, it could be like the next thing you do.
All in all, it's really good for people, because everybody eats bread, and when so deeper understanding about everything it makes you have more purpose in what you're doing, and I represent that bread. I'm kind of a bread guy, so why not? So I'm working on it, and it will happen, just a matter of time, and so. Now I have the attention to and hopefully, and there are more and more skillful people coming into the bakehouse for work, and so during the COVID crisis, we are having there was a lot of really high quality bakers out there that really want to come to Prague and work for Artic Bakehouse. So, and now it's actually the window is starting to open again. So. We'll just hope that will be it. So I want to gather a high quality team with the spirit of party every day. Like every day you go to work, we're having party, man. It's like we have no rules. We are fucking like the rules is just making quality bread. The rest is just having fun.
Wow.
So that's what Artic represents, and that's the spirit of me and my colleague. So. Everything we do, it has to be fun. That's it.
But the first 2 years were tough, right? It wasn't fun. This is like this is kind of given by success, right? By the quietness or serenity or peace of mind that you are on the right track.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and having fun playing what I'm saying is basically the character of me and my colleague. Though we had some rough times because of too much sales.
Yeah, you can. Yes,
keep on going. And I don't give a fuck if I don't sleep and stuff like that. You're driven by something superpower that you didn't notice before. So I believe if you follow your passion, you will have that extra power that is needed. So at least I'm living proof of that. I managed to do something that I didn't know that I was capable of doing. So that's remarkable. It's really awesome.
It is. It is, yeah. And my experience with having the extra power, how you called it, right? Is, for example, I played sports. I did team sports. So yeah, there is also that there's always the moment when you think you're done, you cannot give anymore, and then like it's being among those guys, and you look at them, and none of them gave up. So you're not gonna be the pussy and give up, right? Exactly. And that's. And it's there just with that thought, and boom, it kind of it changes your whole thing, and of course you'll feel worse after the game, right? Because you're pushing yourself harder, but
pushing you to the limits is the best thing you do. Diamonds are born under pressure, and so just do that. So, and I'm looking for it every day, and I'm looking for it so much. I'm feeling like guilty when I'm not. So. Okay. Yeah, which is.
So how's your Sunday? When you're supposed to is Artic open on Sunday?
Every day.
Every day, huh?
From 7 to 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you're there as well Sunday.
It's not work. It's lifestyle. It's just a part of me, and I'm every day.
If you do, if you like what you do, it doesn't feel like work, right? It doesn't feel like work.
No, not at all. And now it's like, okay, the difference between me now and the beginning, I'm not there like 4 o'clock or something, you know, I go to the bakery maybe 8 or something, and it's more relaxed. I can finish my coffee here at my kitchen table and, you know, think about the day ahead and stuff and be like more. And so I have the opportunity now to use my brain, not my hands.
Okay.
So before I was on autopilot with the knowledge, it was like already implanted into what I was going to do. Now I'm starting to be creative again, which is the field and the status I want to remain at, because I rely on that for Artic Bakehouse in the future, because I can change the Artic Bakehouse completely now and open with different products. I have so many ideas, but...
Are you willing to share a little bit, or is it like a well-kept secret for now?
Yeah, it's too complicated to
Because,
share.
I mean, you do everything from what I've seen and from what I know. You do pastries, you do chocolates, you do croissant, you do the bread. What other products? I mean, I'm just probably my imagination is so limited.
This is basically what I do, you know, and you know, sourdough breads are like really into my heart. Like that's why I'm mainly focused on that, because that's a science that is like it's fascinating. It's like, you know, texture, you know, taste and crust and baking time, flour.
Shut up! I'm hungry.
How to make, you know, different things, and you know, it never get bored, you know. It's like, so I'm my age, my passion. I know where I am. This is David. I'm Brett. You know, that's totally it. So I did everything in the pastry and chocolates and stuff like that, and I put a lot of effort in it, same as I'm doing now. And I could go to chocolate here now. I could go to pastry in a hotel and manage, but passion is what I'm doing exactly now. The recipe of my head is basically Artic. It's like walking into my professional brain. And now it's the challenging part is to train other people to do the same and understand why and etc. And that takes a lot of time. And that's a challenge.
But that's how you spread the love, right? I
mean,
that's how.
Yeah, it's totally. And now I have wonderful staff. You know, they are so. I'm so proud of them, man. It's like I love them. You know, it's amazing.
Is everybody Czech, or do you?
No. It's like really international company. Really? Yeah, totally. They're Czech, of course.
Any Romanians?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
He's one of
We're everywhere, to be honest.
Alex, he is a Romanian. He's
yeah.
like,
Alex sounds Romanian.
He's like a Romanian man, big balls.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out, but I believe him. I made a decision. I'm just going to believe you, and I'm not going to prove you wrong.
Cool, amazing. A Romanian baker in Prague. Do you know where he's from?
No, he told me, but
never.
At the moment, I don't. He's fun dude, man. I love him. He's always in the good mood. He never changes.
Really?
Never. Always.
He's not Romanian then.
Yes.
We're pissed. We're pissed. We're always raging. There's something that is too hot or too cold. Or at least for me. Maybe I'm not a characteristic.
Yeah, maybe he was born under a rock or something. I don't
know. Yeah. How was your business during this last year with the lockdowns? I mean, you could still sell bread. Bread places were open. Yeah. Did it grow? Mm-hmm. It grew, right? Yeah. It grew
a lot. It was growing a lot. You know, I'm really like, for me, it's really, you know, good news, because the local market is like growing enormously in this crisis, you know. So this helps me for the purpose of my company to make the locals eat my product. And because of the lockdown, a lot of stuff closed, so they were basically forced to try something new that was open. So this lockdown forced them to go to the better diet, which is really good. It's like I was so happy about it, and so it's actually not a little bit. It was a lot. So I was quite afraid that it would go the opposite, but it's been growing like fuck. You know, it's like too much sometimes. So that's
Too much, meaning that I don't know. There would be customers in the shop that would not get any bread unless they would wait or something like that. So.
Yeah, it's like almost too much because like companies have a limit.
The place has a
Yeah,
limit. The
the
number
place,
of
the
ovens,
staff,
the blah blah blah.
yeah.
Right? Okay.
So
So you were running out of bread from time to time, huh?
yeah. Well, many times been sold out, and but by time you have more data, you have more information about the sales, and we have people that's like they're analyzing that, and so the numbers of production is made for every day. So we are getting more accurate, like as the time goes by, and so now we rarely have that problem because I'm because of the analyst, my colleague, he's good with numbers and stuff. I'm not there. I'm just making bread. So it's wonderful. And when I say like too much, it's like when you feel that some days you're forcing the company to do more than we should.
Okay.
Because I don't want to put unnatural pressure of the machines, the staff, and the environment. We have to go we cannot force. We have to be smooth.
I like this thing, like how you said it, that you need patience in everything, and obviously quality bread or whatever other product is that time. You cannot rush things.
No.
And the society today is about instant gratification, right? I mean, even Tinder, swipe left, swipe right. How many times are you going to swipe right without a match? You're not going to do it, right? So, no, seriously, we want things, but we want them now.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to meet and listen to people that actually are building success things like you are with a total opposite. Basically, you're going against the trend, right? Because the trend would be today to just, make 5 breads, take 15 pictures of it, make money from Instagram, and
It's like go back to the purpose of what you're doing. Just I wanna have an positive impact while I'm still alive, and because that's the best way of making your life like really like successful. I will need to take some out of it, out of the company, to make my life and my people happy. So that's basically the fuel of me continue doing what I'm doing. So it's like a natural way, and it doesn't have to be too much. Just it could be, easily, but I'm growing a company, so I'm not milking the cow right away.
Yeah.
We'll see if I'm old, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm living today.
Yeah. See, sometimes I forget this about myself.
Yeah,
even,
me too. Sorry, because I'm the speaker. I'm this conflict. I have this conflict too. But this is the path I'm trying to keep myself on.
How do you keep focused? I mean, I fuck up every week.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah.
And then the idea is that my brain works in a very weird way. I mean, I fuck up. I know I fucked up. Then I feel 2 days guilty. I fucked up. You know what I mean? I cannot shake it off. How do you do it?
That's the trap.
How do you do it? Teach me.
Yeah, I can teach you what I seriously know what you are actually talking about. It's like when you forget yourself, and because we always think we are respectful to ourselves, we always think we are caring for yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself, so you stop being guilty, because guilt is basically it's a feeling, but if you go overboard with it, it will drag you down. So be your friend, pep yourself up after your mistakes, and just try not to do it again. And it's really, I remember this so clearly. It's not so many years ago when I finally looked in the mirror. I was like, I love this guy. I fucking love him. And when that happened, I started this conflict, like guilty and stuff. It was there, but it was not a burden on me. So yeah, it was kind of a magical thing. To be honest, I'm not making this up. It happened to me because I went really down a lot. So, and I had help to manage. I didn't do it on my own. I had professional help to overcome some serious shit in my life.
Okay.
So the credit is not mine. It's the people that helped me, and of course part mine. And now my best friend is me. I'm in love with myself.
I would say that about myself as well, but not in the convincing way you do it. I mean, everybody has told me from time to time that I'm not humble, and I'm just big mouth and superficial, and you hear it. I mean, you hear negative feedback so much. At one point you kind of begin to make it yours, to believe it. I'm not necessarily a bad guy, but on the same time, I remember that I was drunk with some friends in Naplavka, and I told them like a joke. But then again, the guilt. I went home, I stayed alone with my thoughts, and I actually realized, as a joke, I told my friends that I actually did not look in my eyes in the mirror since I grew a beard, because now I'm looking at the beard. You know? What a good joke I made. Yes. But I went home and I almost fucking cried, because I kind of realized that I'm probably not doing a great thing, you know?
It's a good thing that you are reacting like this, because that tells you that you're not a bad person. But what you need is the backup. You let yourself down. So if you back yourself up with the self, you have to work not outside, you have to work inside. It takes time. You need to be bored a lot. You have to be sacrificing time for yourself, not others, because entertainment is also bothering. It's bothering you. Don't be interrupted by entertainment. Just you are the entertainment for yourself. The person that can stay alone, really entertained with nothing, he's strong fucker. So. And guilt will not bother him. He was just like, fuck it, yeah. And
I'll do it again. I'll try it again.
Yeah, and he's driven by another force, not proving anything. He is just it. So it's difficult to remain there.
I like that. He doesn't have to prove anything. It's just it. You're it. Like it's like that. Yeah. You don't even spend a second to think it. You know it. And then you act like it. I think that's...
Yeah, it starts to happen natural when you practice. You have to practice everything. This doesn't happen like, it's hard work like everything else.
Wouldn't it be cool? It's like have a pill or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be perfect shit. But
yeah, you need practice.
This is my belief.
No, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
And nothing comes easy in life.
No.
And nothing that is nice is without value.
Yeah.
If you put effort into it, no matter what it is, if you're consistent and you're true to yourself, I think that's a key. But that's hard to do every day. It's hard to do every second. Yeah, because you kind of have to do it.
Yeah, it's like you have to be so humble. You have to be so humble, and you have to let everything go. Like being like just that's basically the only thing I have to say about it. Just let everything go and be humble about life, and build yourself up from that point, and not get involved with conflicts. Do not get involved with everything that is unhealthy for you for a while. Just you have to put the balance back on zero so you can actually start to think right. So, and there are so many little decisions we make and do in life that keep us off track. And actually the market actually is taking this part of doing so. So just be it. It sounds simple, but it's not. It's tough.
It's not simple,
but
yes.
It is simple, but it's tough when we go off track. And you have to go back on. So and I'm telling you this because I actually had to go through this, and I'm still struggling with always.
It's a lifelong struggle, right?
Always. And but it starts to get more fun when you get better at it, like everything else in the world. So it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. So. So you can talk about this like forever, like this topic, but it's interesting because everybody's struggling with this.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely lately, since we didn't have like any social interaction and so on, there is a lot of people that I've talked to use this buffer space not for their good, not like but they just voice the other things which are not it.
Yeah,
and that's a problem, I think.
Yeah, like when you find out that you're actually interesting to yourself. Then you're like, then you save so much money and energy, man. You're like, I can just stay here. I can just stay here. So it's awesome. So it's we have more than we think already. We're always looking. We always look there. We don't look here.
I don't know why I'm sharing, but I'm sharing. I didn't want this to be on YouTube, but I've look. I totally understand, and I'm actually, this is what think I'm going through now.
Yeah.
I've been always chasing the wrong things in life somehow.
Yeah.
Career, titles, kind of money, kind of way, because I thought that will bring me peace, but that's wrong.
Yeah.
And actually, just by losing all my clients, let's say from my freelance small business since the lockdown, actually made me realize how little I need to go through my day. And all those things that were like 2-3 years ago when I was happy that I was like making lots of money and shit like that, they are, I now realize that I've been probably putting my energy in the wrong direction, right? Because
you probably did.
1 year, more or less, this last year, I've spent more or less between 4 walls, right, alone, in my bubble, kind of thing, okay? Which, it's very new for me. I've always been like a going out guy, like everybody kind of, talks to me or I talk to them. It's easy for me to do this. And just basically, like, I feel that I've been taken away from what I understand was my medium, and in that silence between 4 walls, you fucking face whatever is inside you.
Yeah, you're doing this, talking to people, random people. First time you meet me, and we're talking like this. So just you find your platform and use it. That's really good talent that you have, and just use that in a good platform.
Thank you for saying that. But
yeah, totally. And
this is not happening in every episode. You've made me want to share. Seriously, seriously. I mean, I'm not, but
that's what like we should talk about. Is like the inner man, which we can. Artic Bakehouse is just like something that happened because I did something. And why did I do it? It's because there's something here, and there's deeper and deeper and deeper layer to it's like an onion, and also for me, I'm learning about myself when I'm talking up loud, because we have to grab the opportunity to have these conversations. They are really valuable, like always, because they don't happen like
right. I mean, just at what you said now, I feel that sometimes if I don't verbalize my thoughts, it's exactly how you said it. We need to have this talk because it goes out, and you kind of understand it and make it yours a little bit different if you hear yourself saying it, no?
Yeah, that's been proved by science.
Really? Yeah? I had no idea.
It's been proved, like, if you can, like, the only to have some, if to cure something that is like inside of you, the only way to cure it is like the first step is communication, and the communication can bring it to life, and then actually you can start to build something with it, and it is what it is. Like that's really simple to do, but like the step of doing that is bothering a lot of people, and especially the ones with the high IQ. They are like overthinkers and stuff. It's more difficult for them than the people that are like basically stupid. So. No, seriously, we have this. Right. This is the range in the world. So there's a benefit of being stupid also. So like we have this pluses and minuses everywhere. So it is what it is, and this is my beliefs, and the only thing that has been proven that is like what you said is like. I'm not like some Jesus Christ here. I went through this, and it works for me really well. And get help, man. I got help. He's like,
I don't know why I never was attracted by that idea. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
With what?
With getting help, like professional help. I don't know why. I don't know why. I never actually thought about it.
The more when you're holding it, like I said, let it go. The more you squeeze it, the less you want help. So when you let everything go, you're really humble, and you're just like, hey, help me, man. And really help me, man. No problem. They share you something, and you actually just follow their rules, not your own, because your own didn't work.
True. So your own didn't work.
So you got another script of life, and you just follow it. Sometimes get against your will, because your old you is like, no, I'm your boss.
No, right? The old me is always gonna scream first.
So let it go. There are professionals that know how to work, because this is basically they don't have to know you to fix you. They just know what works. So but we always know better, like this guy.
No, right? Because I've been living with myself for 41 years.
Yeah.
The person that I know best in this world is, or actually is it me? But theoretically it is, at least at the surface, right?
It's
So
like, we're not too late.
we're never too late. That's true. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with us. We just there's always a way to make it a little bit better. You know, to save, so we can just wake up and don't waste energy on anything else but what is like useful for you. And I'm still, we're never gonna have it perfect. Just at least we can have some information to make it better. And this is one of the things that to make, like, you will make this podcast better every day you do it. So don't just focus on that, just and use it for yourself too. And actually, we're actually doing it. That's good. It's awesome.
How long? We cut it out if you don't want to answer. How long have you been doing this?
4 years.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not something like I can go get help for 2 months and it's done.
It's
It's
like,
a fucking process again.
I don't know any formula. There is basically no formula. This is basically bringing you back who the person you should be. Because when we're out there, we're grabbing some ideas that actually are not suitable for us, and we're actually sometimes squeezing them in the schedule and etc. So it is just, so I cannot answer that, to be honest. This is like, you actually know it already in your heart. You feel it already. You just have to learn to listen to that. And that's basically the script, you know.
Sport is part of it, right? Keeping active, right?
Everything, diet. So for some people, sport is not necessary. Some people have to, yeah. So it's, yeah. For me, it's just be humble every day and willing to learn from others and still listen to your inner voice. And don't get hard, you know. Don't be the guy who knows everything. Just be there, because you're just a plant. You're fucking nothing, and I'm fucking nothing. That's why then we go back to the belief. We have to believe in something bigger, so we have purpose to do something. And well, I wish I was a specialist in this, but I'm just talking about from my heart and what works for me. Well, I would not be here in Prague doing what I'm doing if I didn't
believe that's
take this U-turn in my life. I would be like on a mental institute, I think. Seriously, it's like, because it was a lot of pressure, much more pressure than I expected. So, no. But I really hope that, you know, people can listen to this and it opens their eyes a little bit towards the topic of being you. Don't forget about yourself, and you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to buy anything at all. Just as long as I can have your eyes in front of me and we can talk, you are everything. So you don't have to follow anything. Just nada. I'm not saying that you should not do it. Just do it if you can, and, you know, do it in a natural way. Don't force anything. So I hope really my story would help, you know, someone. You know, and I really like this topic, to be honest. You know, it's really really on top of my head always, every day. So it's really easy for me to talk about it. So this thing goes first, and then my career and everything. Because you couldn't do one without the other. I mean, right?
It's impossible.
If you wouldn't start your day with your...
Yeah, you train yourself out if you don't... If you,
You're just...
Yeah, you train yourself out if you don't listen to this. And I'm really fascinated about this. You know, there are a lot of people that are really good at this, and you can listen to just online, you know, just to get the taste of it. And so...
What do you like to listen? I mean, do a shout out.
Everything that just like hits you. So, some things that doesn't like hit you, it may hit me because of my experience and etc. So it's kind of a personal what you should listen to. You know, so this is just a part of the journey. You get to know yourself better. And I was amazed how little I knew me, to be honest. I was career driven like fuck, you know.
Only thing was just sourdough bread. And I was okay. Of course, you get good at it when you didn't do anything else, and you don't pay attention to your families and stuff. I was ignoring basically everything. Just this. That was my failure, But we're human. We do mistakes and we try to correct them and as much as possible. If you don't have black, we don't have white.
True.
If we don't have losers, we don't have winners, and etc. So that's why we are still alive and we don't kill ourselves. There's something to aim at.
Amen.
So that's really cool.
It is. It is. I mean, I think we can cut like minutes and spread it on social media. You might become a motivational speaker, David. Seriously, I'm not joking.
Yeah, we never know. It doesn't. Never say never. So yeah, I would gladly talk about this, for hours. I love it, and we'll see. Maybe if somebody needs to talk, I am always open, and actually I have time now to share. So.
What's your day? Tell me, because I asked in the beginning, I think when you were telling me about your father, like you mentioned, I think 4 o'clock in the morning and so on, right? Yeah. Bread usually was the first thing you would buy the morning, right? For take home, breakfast, and then have it, something like this. So it must be super, you cannot sleep late, you cannot...
No, I'm
not today, because now your business is kind of almost running without you, let's say, if you're missing 3 days.
If you compare it to where it was.
To where you started. Yeah. But like in the beginning, like that hard period of just bread, just dough, just sour bread. I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, straight to next to the oven.
I worked 14 to 16 hours a day for 2 years.
Wow.
Not one day off. No, it was way too much, It's unbelievable, and so it paid. I paid the toll for it. It was in a way stupid, but there was no other way at the moment. So this was the sacrifice. 2 years, 14, 16 hours every day, not one day off, and to manage to get.
And you still like it, and you still talk about it like your passion. Your eyes light up when you're talking about sourdough. So you're still. It abused you, man.
Yes.
At least for 2 years.
I don't blame it on the bread. I blame it on myself. So it was not. It was not my profession. It was my drive. It was.
Of course,
it was too much.
Yeah. Of course, you say that. Yeah. I've been not listening to you. Probably it's because it was you. It came from inside. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
I made it myself. It came over me because of my actions, and I don't want to fail, and I regret some, and I don't regret others. There's always pluses and minuses. But I have to believe that it was the right outcome and just move forward, and I will happily do so. That's the only option I have to make progress. So. That's why I wake up in the morning and still smiling, and I feel like I'm unemployed, because I don't have, because when people talk about work, this is not work for me at all. It's like totally part of just taking the milk out of the fridge and putting it in the coffee and enjoy it. So it's a kind of the sweetener in my coffee. So it's I'm fortunate. I understand, and I have to respect that. That's quite a given, yeah.
I wish I could grow up to be you, David. At least the part where, to be with myself like you, like I see you are with yourself.
Yeah, it's like, talking the talk is one thing and walking the walk is another. And,
there's always gonna be ups and downs.
Yeah,
right?
But I finally made it to walk the walk, like towards this topic, towards myself. It was a fucking hard, just turning like the biggest ship on earth, like to the other direction. It was, I thought I couldn't make it, but in the end, it's like maybe I have no idea why. Maybe me, maybe this guy that like give me some boost. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. The outcome is I'm feeling better. So that's the only, guidance I have. I'm trying to feel better. So as long as when I start to feel worse, I'm doing something wrong. So this is really.
It's so easy somehow when you say it.
It is, maybe. Yes.
I think too. I tend to overthink it.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
100%. Yes, you do. Yeah, it's because life is really simple, but we make it complicated. That's I know that for sure because we're just born here and we die. Why mix it up with all this shit and career and this? Why didn't we just do it? Just eat and die. And everything we add on should be like
bonus. We should be grateful and happy for everything that's Yeah.
Don't take more. Just take what is given to you, and you will be given what you put out there.
So basically, in order to take more, put more out there.
Yes.
Right?
In the golden balance. It's as long as you can afford it. So it's
does it burn you on the inside? The more you, I don't know, the more love you spread one way or another, is there still left something, or you're eventually gonna?
Yeah, you learn how to balance how much you can provide to others, and the rest is, and you will be surprised how little you can give. It's not so much because we are a hard topic to handle. It is.
Yeah, sometimes a thank you or a please or a smile is
the little things
makes your day, right? It's the small things, the insignificant things.
Yeah.
Quote, but it's not insignificant.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Like these little things, just help people with small things. If it drops something, and just pick it up.
Yeah.
And open door and the smile, which is totally free and with no effort whatsoever. It's just and for example, smiling is practice. Everything is practice. So.
True.
Yeah, and you can when you wake up, you have to decide that you're going to do it.
True.
And it's like when you fall in love, after a while, you have to decide every day that you'll be in love with this woman. You have to make the decision every day.
It's a decision, right?
It's always love is just you make. Why are you in love? Because you made that decision. You made it. It happens at some point, and the rest is up to you to make that happen more. So that tells you that for the rest of your life, if you're going to spend the rest of the life with her, you have to make the decision.
The same decision
every day.
Every day.
So
I can do that.
I tried, but I'm still working on that. This is, life is wonderful, but it's so simple. But we are always so occupied with something else, and that's but it's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful.
It is beautiful, and we're lucky enough to have this wonderful city, and the people around, and the cultures. I don't think you said it on camera, but you said something like, I came here because I wanted to learn, but as well teach and grow, but as well be aware of everything that's going on. And Prague is the perfect place for that. Everybody meets in Prague.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place to fulfill what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to be abroad. I wanted to do something on my own in a different culture and challenge myself there, which I did, and I'm still doing it. And
you're doing a fucking great job of it, man.
So far, so good, and it's like I said, it's surprisingly good, and I'm just gonna continue that road, and not be overboarded with some stuff. Like I said, if we grow somewhere, it's because it's naturally been written in the skies or something. We just know, we just do it, and because it's fun. So I'm gonna stay on that path.
It's not Arctic, it's Arctic.
I took the C away.
Yeah.
Because it was not cool.
But how is it correct, though? Correct. I mean, how?
It's nothing.
But you just said you took the C away.
It's like...
is it Arctic and you took the C away?
Yeah, it's like in the beginning, it was like Arctic. But Arctic is not the word I was looking for.
Okay.
But when I took the one C out, it was really cool word. It's like, because artisan baker, Arctic from like ice. So it's basically up to you what you think. it's not. It doesn't represent anything. It's in your head.
Oh, cool, man! Awesome. So, since we are talking now, I will do socials later. Another thing that I wanted to say is, again, you said it off camera, but tell us how you manage the Instagram account, because I think it's really smart, it's really wonderful, and
yeah, we actually, it's like, it was not planned, to be honest. It's like, this is one of the things that happens naturally when you just do what you do, and social media is, we have to be visible there, and the most real way to do it, from my opinion, from my concept, is just like we just repost what the customers are saying with their cameras. So my stuff is made by my loving customers, and like so many of them are actually like professionals, like with the camera, and the ideas what they bring into my storyline of my social media is way better in some fields that I could ever manage, and because I cannot be a customer, I'm selling the product. So yeah, it's their story after make the business of the Artic Bakehouse, and I'm.
So that wonderful Instagram page with probably 10,000 followers or something like that is basically each and every post of that is a post of your happy customer, which is hashtagging it with.
I would just repost that.
What? Artic Bakehouse, right?
Yeah.
Artic Bakehouse. So people, if you're watching this, subscribe to our channel. Go to Miss Likova or Újezd. In case you didn't yet try Artic Bakehouse, do that. Take a picture. Put the hashtag there. Yeah. David will repost you on his timeline.
Totally.
And this is it in the end, right? Follow us on Instagram, 19to_podcast. On Facebook as well. Subscribe, please, on our YouTube, because we want to see 100 followers by episode 6. So this episode. Maybe we will have 100 by then. Oh my God. Okay. What am I missing is the last question, as always. David, if you can snap your fingers and change the world in any way you want. No questions asked.
I would like to be. I would like to implant in every single brain in this world is what we talked about, being humble.
Starting with mine, I guess.
Yeah, we start with you. That's off my top of my head. That's actually what humbleness is a key of great things. So that's my final word, my friend.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
My pleasure.
We will do part 2 because
because
I just felt like 20 minutes, but it was an hour and a half.
That's good. That's good news.
David still has a lot to share, and thank you so much, man.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
No, thank you for having me, mate.